Hi, this is Richard C. I'm a math tutor at Wyzant, and I'm answering a question submitted by a student. And I'm starting to draw a diagram here. So we're interested in an angle which has a terminal arm, -4, 4. So let's pretend that's -4, 4. And we'll make a nice little right triangle here. So this is -4 here and 4 here. And there we go. Now the angle that we're interested in is this. That's our theta. Because we're starting off at 0 here and then coming all the way around to this point, -4, 4. And what we want to know is the sine of theta. Now you should recognize right away that you have an isosceles triangle here, isosceles right triangle. And I just want to remind you what that looks like. So let's put it over here in red. Oops, I want to make it look just like the diagram that we already have. So we'll do it this way. And when it's a 45, 45, 90, and these should be memorized. By the way, this is a trigonometry question, so I assume the student is taking like an advanced algebra 2 class or maybe pre-calculus. And so you should have seen this by now. You would have seen this in geometry, probably. And you should have memorized it by now. But if you haven't memorized it, now you have it in red. When I put something in red, it's intended to be memorized. And so you should recognize this right away. And you shouldn't have to do Pythagorean theorem. You should be able to see right away that this is 4 root 2. And you can see this from the right triangle, 45, 45, 90 here, and you can see right away, a root 2. Well, a is 4 here. Okay. Well, if you had to do quadratic formula, Pythagorean theorem, you'd just go -4 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. So that's 16, and 16 is 32. So c is going to be the square root of 32, which is the square root of 16 times 2. Okay, and then that gives you 2 root 2. Sorry, 4 root 2, excuse me. Okay. Square root of 16 is 4, of course. And that's 4 root 2. So, you can use Pythagorean theorem, but it's far better if you've got this memorized. And you really needed to know this triangle, the special right triangle, because it's clearly an isosceles right triangle here. And so now we're pretty much done. We just have to find the sine. So the sine of theta, and here we're going to use SOHCAHTOA, so it would be opposite over hypotenuse. So it'd be 4 over 4 root 2, which is going to be 1 over root 2. And we have to get rid of that radical in the denominator, so we're going to multiply by root 2 over 2, root 2 over root 2 rather, and we're left with root 2 over 2, and that's our answer. Notice that sine is positive in the second quadrant, cosine would be negative, tangent would be negative, but they're only asking us for sine, so we kind of get off nice and easy here. So it's really just a matter of recognizing where you are on the unit circle, although this is not a unit circle because we have a radius here of 4 instead of 1. But you should be able to recognize this depending on how much background you had before you encountered this problem. So if you're not in Honors Algebra 2 and you're not in Pre-Calc / Trigonometry, you may not have had the background you needed for this one, but it's really a fairly straightforward problem. Okay, so that's it for this one. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.